Hello, potato. Look, it's magic. That must mean today we're doing Magic in the Mail. Of course, it's not all Disney. It's not always all Disney, but it is mostly Disney this time, which is a nice change. I think last time was about, what, 50-50? More things this time, though. So let's just get right into it and start out with something that's not Disney, but it is Funko. It's a pop of Murder, She Wrote's Jessica Fletcher. Yes, Angela Lansbury herself. We have been, during the end of the world here, marathoning our way through Murder, She Wrote, thanks in large part to watching Pushing Up Rose's series on Murder, She Wrote. I believe it's called That Time on Murder, She Wrote. And, yeah, we happened to see this while out shopping. It was the only one they had. And here we are. We now have our very own Jessica Fletcher pop, Angela Lansbury, in vinyl reality. It's a nice little pop, good little detail. I thought, looking at it, that this was actually an exact pose from like the opening credits of the show. But if it is, I can't find which version of the credits it is, because the original credits has a shot of her holding a flashlight, immediately followed by a shot of her with the bag over her arm like this, and that's where I think I thought I got it from. Later on in the series, like series 10 or 11, there is a shot of her walking through like a stone passageway with the with a similar coat and a flashlight, but the bag's on the same arm as the flashlight. So I don't know if this is actually, I mean, there may be an episode that this physical, actual pose appears in, but I'm not going to go looking through all 12 seasons to find it. Yeah, it's a cute little pop. She's going to go back in the box, don't worry. She's not staying out. Now, for our next thing, we're staying with Funko, but before we get to that, I want to show you a thing that has never been seen before on this YouTube channel. Here it is, the backside of water. Where else can you get such amazing entertainment as that? Now, why am I showing you the backside of water? Because of our next Funko item. He's a tour guide on the Jungle Cruise ride, and Skipper Dan is his name. He's doing 34 shows every day, and every time it's the same. Yep, from our friendly folks at Disney and, of course, Funko, we have the world-famous Jungle Cruise Excursions Departing Daily Pop from the Pop Ride series. I don't have a lot of the Pop Ride series. I think the only other Disney one I have is the Doom Buggy, which I had to pay too much money for because they didn't sell that one on Shop Disney. This one they did. Interestingly, to me at least, is you notice the box doesn't have the Parks exclusive sticker like, say, Madame Leota over there does. Yeah, you can see it in the picture here. Yeah, see, she's got that little silver Parks exclusive sticker, and this doesn't, so I wonder if they're going to be selling it maybe in Disney Store at some point. You know, if Disney Store can reopen where I am. Of course, right now our malls are closed again. Probably will be for at least another week or two before they can reevaluate whether or not it is safe to reopen them. So let's get Skipper Dan out of the box here. I'm not going to take him out on camera because, frankly, I think that's going to take a minute. So let's jump ahead to when that's done. There we go. He's out of the box. As you can see, Jessica would like to take a ride on the Congo Queen here. So, for those of you who care about numbers on these things, Jessica there is number 370, and the Jungle Cruise here is number 79. Let's take a look at the back of the box, actually, too. Because, you know, they usually show, if there's a series, they show other ones, but of course, like, Murder, She Wrote, not a series of pops. Jungle Cruise, it's sort of a series, but it's not like a series of Jungle Cruise pops. But just some nice little Funko-ized artwork on the back here of some of the things, some of the less objectionable things on the Jungle Cruise ride. That is, you know, it's another one that has some problematic imagery. But they've kind of worked around it, I think, pretty well over the years. You know, I haven't bought many of the ride-themed sets, and I do kind of regret not getting the one for Splash Mountain, especially since that's going to go away, and that set's going to be marvelously expensive. But oh well. Oh well. It's just more bits of plastic I don't really need lying around the house, right? So on the Congo Queen here, we have some nice, I think the smoke looks kind of nice. It's got kind of a little bit of a slightly rubbery texture, different from the rest of it. The rest of it feels just kind of fairly hard, possibly brittle plastic, which is why it's going to go back in the box as soon as I'm done recording this video. But it's got some nice detail on it. We've got Skipper Dan here, who does not come out of this, unlike, say, the, I think there was a teacup one wasn't a while back, wasn't there? With Alice in it. There's supposed to be a new one coming out, too, for the 65th anniversary. There's a teacup with the Mad Hatter in it, and that one I probably will try to get. Although I think it's a Target exclusive, so it may be really hard to get normally. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So Dan here is sitting on his seat, which, honestly, I think they stand on the ride, don't they? Do they sit? Because I think they stand. But I think for the scope of making this look right, they'd have to make it too tall if they actually had him stand up. But you've got the boiler in there, just like on the real ride. Got the top, got the little light on top. It's a nice piece. It'll look nice up on a shelf. It does feel marvelously fragile. But honestly, I'm really glad it showed up. The box came in pretty good condition because they put no packaging in there with it at all. It came in a box about twice as large as this is, with one sheet of the magic paper and the packing slips. And it just rocked around in there. I've seen some pictures online of people who got theirs all smashed up. And, you know, that's the thing with dealing with Shop Disney for ordering things like this is still available. It didn't sell out, which is nice. But, I mean, you never know that your replacement's not going to come in the exact same horrible condition. But this one came in good condition. I like it. I'm happy with it. Let's move on. Let's put you two over here, because there's more stuff. Let's do pins next. Yes, we have pins today, too. We'll start with our non-Disney pin. I think it's actually our last non-Disney item. And that's these. I actually found these at the same time we found Jessica Fletcher there. From Starbucks, an enamel pin set. These were $18.95, which isn't awful for 5 pins. They're pretty good pins, and you've probably noticed on this channel, or certainly on my Instagram if you follow that, at Void of Intelligence, I like coffee. I love my caffeine. So these were kind of a must-buy. They'll probably end up going somewhere on our little coffee shrine in the living room with all of our other Barista Poffy plush and other coffee-related items. But you got the logo, you got the lips with the word coffee on them. Got that you're caffeinated. I mean, these, I could see putting these on a bag, maybe. I'm not sure what the lightning bolt is. That makes me think of David Bowie. But everything else, they've got a good coffee related. I'm a little surprised they didn't go ahead and try to put some sort of version of the logo on the coffee cup pin here, because that looks like almost like it could be just a generic coffee pin you'd buy somewhere else that's meant to suggest Starbucks without getting in trouble for copyright infringement. Yeah, just little basic metal backings, the kind that I am always worried are going to fall off and then you lose your pin. I do like the backings on the Disney pins better. They, those rubber Mickey heads just seem more secure to me somehow. And speaking of those rubber Mickey heads on the backs of Disney pins, here's one now. So, I'm sure you've noticed here the Ooh Look It's Magic box has been in the background, and we'll get to that eventually. But we ordered some stuff from Shop Disney, and the contents of that box were free if you bought, I think it's like $65 or something like that. And we were a little bit short. And I've been looking at this pin on there for probably about a year now. Certainly, I mean, since around the 50th. And so we went ahead and ordered it to push us over the top. It's the Graveyard Jamboree pin. Let's see if we can get focus. That's as good as we're getting there. It's got really tiny writing on it, which I can barely see here. I'm sure you can't read it on screen. But it says the Graveyard Jamboree. Come out and socialize. And join the graveyard. What? Join us in the graveyard. Mortals welcome. A swinging wake featuring the ghostly quartet Phantom 5 performing their greatest hits with special appearance by the Merry Minstrels. Yes, that is tiny writing, but it's a nice pin. You've got the 5 singing busts on it. It's got a nice little style to it. I don't remember how much it was. I think it was like 10 bucks. It's a silver one, so if you are like a real hardcore pin collector, you know what silver means. I know they just price it all by color now, because it's easier to raise and lower prices. Well, probably raise. Without having to retag all the individual pins, if you just make them a color and say all silvers are 15 bucks. And then tomorrow all silvers are 16 bucks. And you've had to change nothing but the sign that says what silver means. Alright, what should we do next? What should we do next? I know. We'll do this. No, that's not the thing. The reason I have that is because I finally got my Star Wars masks. This is another one I've heard some real horror stories on from Shop Disney, of people getting them with a mixture of sizes. I, of course, have ordered large, because that's actually a fairly good representation of the size of my head. And you get 4 different styles. And luckily, I do seem to have received 4 of the same size. I see pictures online of people saying they got, 3 larges and a medium. Or they apparently got children's larges, and apparently there are product numbers and stuff that changed on the Shop Disney site after people ordered them, that went from like adult large to youth medium. But these are pretty nice masks. They have these big long tags on them, which obviously that's going to need to be cut off. I'm sure that stuff has to legally be there. It's like washing instructions and what it's made out of and who you sue if it makes you die. But that's not going to be comfortable in front of your mouth, nor is it going to work sticking off the side. So I realized last time that just kind of putting these on the table, couldn't really see them very well. That's why I've enlisted this happy fellow here. We're going to put them on him and see what they look like. So first we have our R2-D2 mask, and see, as you can see, this little tag here is a problem. You can't just like leave it sitting off to the side. I did try it on. They do fit. They're actually quite snug for me. See, I can definitely, people saying they wouldn't fit a child is ridiculous. But yeah, they're snugger than the ones I normally do wear. But we have R2-D2 one here. I picked the Star Wars one specifically because I didn't like the Hulk one in the Marvel series. But I really wish that Disney would make some more of these in more styles. I feel like this is an area of profit making right now that they're just kind of leaving in the dust. We have our R2-D2 mask. Turns your lower face into R2-D2. It's easy enough to breathe through because I still need to cut that tag off. But yeah, it's quite a bit more snug than what I normally have been wearing, which are those little black ones with the faces on them, or the mouths on them, that I showed way off back in one of the early quarantine log videos. So if you want to go see those, go check that out. I don't even remember what video number that one was anymore. So here's R2. Let's move on to it's a nice one. Got the whole little R2 face. This is, I guess, the equivalent of like the Hulk one from the Marvel set. But it's nice. The cloth is not super thick. It's not hard to breathe through. The straps are actually quite thick. I'm using one of those little cheater things to hold it on here, because as you can see, he has no ears. And it's actually really giving that thing a run for its money. The straps are not nearly long enough. If you want to be one of the people that uses one of those little ear saver things behind your head, you better have a small head, because it's definitely not going to work for this. This just fits on me. So if you want to buy a large for a child, you might be able to use one of those little cheater things. But yeah, as an adult, I don't think many adults would be able to use that. So there's R2. Let's move on to the next one. Next we have a logo mask. It's all the logos for Star Wars and the Empire and the Rebellion and the Mandalorians. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what this one is. I don't recognize that one. This one actually is quite a bit looser. It was much easier to put on here. Maybe it's because I don't have it pulled up over his cheekbones. It would be easier to have him wear it properly over his nose if he had a nose, but he doesn't. That's about as good as we're going to get. But yeah, again, it's another nice one. See, that's what I mean about them being kind of ready to come off. I'll just do it like this. Yep. That's the Star Wars logo mask. It's a nice one. This one, because it does feel like it might be bigger. It does feel a little bit looser, actually, than the R2 one. So there might be a little size variance. And maybe that'll fix it a little bit when you wash it. let's move on to the next one. Of course, you can't do a Star Wars thing right now without doing the child. Here is our The Child mask. This appears to be the scene of him drinking the bone broth. He is not Baby Yoda, he is the child. Nowhere on any official merchandise is he called Baby Yoda, because he's not. He's just from the same species. That'd be like if Baloo called any other human he saw Big Mowgli. So yep, there's the child drinking his bone broth, now on your face, so that you can breathe out through his eyeballs. Again, this one feels a little looser than the R2 mask. But yeah, it's a nice one. And there's one more in the set. Let's jump on to that one. And the last mask in the set is our little Star Wars poster one. Now, I don't know if it's intentional or not. I mean, it's clearly meant to be the original A New Hope poster on the mask, but I don't know if it's intentional or not. But for me, and if you're of a certain age, it might do this for you too, especially once I point it out to you, this makes you think of bed sheets. This reminds me an awful lot of the Star Wars bed sheets you could have had as a kid if you grew up in the 80s. Yeah, I don't know if that's intentional, because of course there's like no descriptions for these on the app, at least not that I've seen. I haven't really looked too much at these since I ordered them back in like May, but they remind me of Star Wars bed sheets from the 80s. And I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I think if you are of an age to remember those, you're thinking that now too, and you're never going to not be able to see that. That ends our masks, but not our video. We have more stuff still. We have boxes. We have 3 boxes. Yep. This is a big video for a Magic in the Mail. In fact, probably bigger than tomorrow's video, to be honest. So let's look at these. These are ornaments. Now, my wife's already opened these up and looked at them. I really haven't looked at them too much. So, of course, you probably know, if you're interested in such things, and why would you be watching this video if you weren't, that Disneyland is 65 years old this month. Of course, they would have been a nice big celebration, but unfortunately there was a nice big quiet disaster that prevented that from happening. They still release merchandise though, and we have the 65th anniversary ornament. And it is Mickey and Minnie walking in front of the castle from the happiest place on earth. This was apparently $24.99. And I don't know if, I wonder if there'll be something in the Disney store or not, because you know they sell a lot of ornaments in store. But I don't know if this will be a Parks one, or if this will actually, because it's, you know, it's the same kind of tag they use in the store. But they don't usually sell a lot of Parks-related stuff in the store, except for, you know, the little section of Haunted Mansion last year. Generally, it's more related to the movies or just Disney in general. So one thing on here, oh, she got a little, is that, I hope that's, oh. She's got, oh, I don't, that's not great. I mean, I don't think it won't show when it's on, like, sitting on a table or something. But she's got, like, a defect on her face here. It looks like there was a defect in her production. It looks like maybe like something like a booger stuck to her. But I think that's actually like a melt in the molding or something. That's unfortunate. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. I don't know if this is even in focus, because I don't think I focused since the Haunted Mansion pin. So all those masks may have been totally out of focus. You'll let me know in the comments, I'm sure. Like I won't notice when I'm editing. See, I'm not loving that. But I was going to say, the first thing that jumps out at me is that they're blue instead of black on like their ears and Mickey's shoes. And that seems kind of weird to me. It's a nice ornament. It'll still look good on a shelf with our other Disney ornaments. But yeah, it's not perfect. I do like they've gone to this, because they finally realized that most people aren't putting these on their trees, mostly because, you know, they weigh 5 pounds. But they've actually got this on here so you can take this off. It's got like a little like necklace clasp. So you can take the string off of it if you want to, so it's not hanging like that, or you don't have to like put it around or off to the side or try to tuck it out of the way like you do usually with these ornaments. So that's a nice feature. I hope we're going to see that on our other ornaments here. But yeah, I'm really disappointed in that. And again, the coloring is just weird. I think it's just because they're kind of trying to go with the whole blue thing. Because, you know, the castle's blue, and the background's blue, and her dress is blue, and he's got blue highlights on his tux. But it's a little weird to me. Yeah, the defect on her face, I don't love that. But at least it got here in one piece, because again, like Skipper Dan there, this came by itself in a box. Just this box rattling around in a much bigger box. Thankfully, it was packed well in this box. Otherwise, I'd probably have much less nice things to say about that ornament. Let's move on. I think I know what these two are, but I don't know which one is which. So let's take a look at them. It is... Okay, I think I know which one this is going to be then. It's part of... no, it's not the one I think it is then. It's the other one. Because I don't think the one I was thinking of sings. Now this is how you pack an ornament, Disney. Even if it was rattling around in a bigger box, this thing is packed like a little statue, which is a nice way to do it. It's part of the new sketchbook collection, because, you know, it's July, it's time for Christmas ornaments. Every year, towards the end of summer, or middle of summer this year, Disney releases new ornaments into the stores. And to be fair, I mean, Hallmark does too. Hallmark's, I'm sure, got all their ornaments up in the areas where Hallmark is open. But this is... Now, see, they haven't made it so you can take the tag off of this one. This is, of course, going to turn the opposite way of the camera. Let's just put it down. Mary Poppins! I've done an interesting art style thing on here. I'm Step in Time, so I'm guessing it plays Step in Time. YouTube is absolutely going to flag this, because I used 10 seconds of Haunted Mansion and they go, yeah, no, you can't monetize this now, right? But that's nice. The art style is interesting. It kind of looks, it's a very cartoonish version of them. I think it's a pretty good look for Mary Poppins there. I don't know that that really looks that much like Bert, though. It's definitely a much younger Bert, I think, than he was in the original movie. That looks like, you know, early, like late teens, maybe 20 Bert. So I don't know if that's great. But the art style is interesting because it kind of gives him a cartoony look. Almost like, you know, if Pixar made a Mary Poppins movie, that might be what they look like. But the next ornament's very chunky. It's got little rubber pads on the bottom because they understand, of course, that most people, again, aren't going to hang. This thing weighs at least a pound. You're not going to hang it on your tree because it's huge. Unfortunately, they didn't do what they did with this one and make the tag removable. So you still, but of course with the card off, it would be much easier to just kind of tuck that behind Bert there and not have it be a bother. So that was actually my wife's choice of ornament. I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it, but that's not the one I picked. That means this must be the one that I picked. It's another one of the sketchbook ornaments. It's one of the anniversary ones. Since I think just last year was the first time they started doing this. They do, for anniversary releases, they put like a little number tag on them showing how old it is. And we got a few of those last year, like the I'm saying a lot today. I'm sorry. The Headless Horseman. It's a crutch I need to work on. We had the Headless Horseman last year. I think we had a Nautilus one last year. But this year, one of my all-time favorites, probably one of the first Disney movies I remember ever seeing, from Fantasia, which is celebrating its 80th anniversary. We have Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. This is normally the kind of ornament I totally avoid because it's glass, and I'm always terrified of breaking these things. But it's Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey. It doesn't have any extra features like Mary there. It doesn't make music, which would have been nice. But it's very nice. It's Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey inside the Mickey hat on a little pedestal that says Fantasia. Again, you can't take this off here, and I would even be more hesitant about hanging this up because the metal ring here is on the glass. So, I mean, if this gets jostled too much, that's going to snap. So I don't I don't know what the thought process on these is. I don't know if they think people are putting these on trees, or if they're just going to get like ornament stands for them, which I've seen. And we have a couple of those, because there's some ornaments we had, like older ones. I think we have like a Night Before Christmas one of Jack that's like all jangly, and it can only hang, it can't stand up on its own. But it's nice, it's got a nice little sculpt of Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey on the inside there. It's got like a resin base, glass dome. Kind of wish that was plastic, just because I would be less hesitant to put it out if it was plastic. But it's not. It feels like it's glass. But it's a nice ornament, and it's the only, I think the only one of the anniversary, the legacy ones, I guess they're called. It's number 4 of 12. I think it's the only one of the legacy ones I saw that I like, oh, I really, really do want that one. I think there might be a Toy Story one too, like for Toy Story 2 or Toy Story 3 that I liked. But this is the only one that I saw and said, oh, that one I have to have. And I think that about wraps it up. Oh, it doesn't, because that thing that's been in the background of the shot the entire video, I haven't discussed yet. All right, let's take a look at it. So, I had mentioned we bought the Haunted Mansion ornament pin because there was a give me with it. You know what? Let me clear this off first. There, we have a little more room now. So, yeah, if you ordered, it's like $65 or $75 worth of stuff, you got a set of 60th anniversary lithographs. And actually, let me reposition the camera a bit so we can just look down on these. There we go. I think that'll work better for this. So, yep, here's our set of 60th anniversary lithographs. And suitable for framing, of course. So starting off, we have Mickey here. 65 Years of Magic. It's a fairly simple art style, but it's nice. I'm guessing there's probably some stuff up around the park that looks like that. And of course you have Mickey, you gotta have Minnie. It is after all supposed to be her year with Minnie Mouse the Main Attraction, where she's still on vacation for the US and being released everywhere else. Although they are apparently going to be releasing her soon as part of Merch Pass. I think next week is the Merch Pass for her, which we'll discuss that in a second. Let's stay on target. And then we have another 65 Years of Magic. Just kind of a general thing of various Disney properties now. We've got the Hatbox Ghost, which, you know, you can't have too much Hatbox. I was really disappointed I couldn't get the Hatbox Ghost pin for the 65th anniversary release. Not like I'm going to do something awful disappointed. Just like that was kind of the thing I liked the most out of there. But I kind of figured, being number 24,000 in line, that wasn't going to happen. And it didn't. We have Rocket and Groot, Buzz and Woody, because we've got to represent the Marvel and the Pixar. Got Mickey and Minnie, Cinderella, Mr. Toad. Honestly, there's like a few Mr. Toad things this year. It's an anniversary year for that too, isn't it? For was it Fun and Fancy Free? No, that's not the name of the Mr. Toad one. That was, I just watched not that long ago too. I watched the Mr. Toad and the Wind in the Willows and the Sleepy Hollow thing on Disney Plus, and I don't remember what it was called now. I don't think it's Fun and Fancy Free because that doesn't make a lot of sense for either of those stories. And of course BB-8, which I would have gone with R2. I know we like to push BB-8, but I would have gone with R2 on there if I was going to put a droid, but that's me. Or maybe Darth Vader. I mean, you've got this ghoulish little fellow up here. You can do a ghoulish little fellow down here. And then I think our last one, yep, the happiest place on Earth. And we have not just Disneyland represented here, because pretty sure that is the new, not new, it's been open for like 3 years now, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride there. Yeah, this definitely, they definitely have DCA in here as well, which is funny because it's a Disneyland anniversary, and you clearly have DCA things in here, because there's the Incredicoaster, we've got, where'd it go, I thought, oh, the Cars ride, or maybe that's supposed to be Autopia. I guess it could be Autopia, but I don't think Autopia is themed like that anymore, is it? I think that's the Cars ride. The Cars ride is themed as a more of a desert appearance. We've got the Guardians of the Galaxy. We've got, what, Peter Pan's, the pirate ship from Peter Pan, or maybe that's supposed to be from Pirates. I don't know. We've got, is that a mission? Is that the, Is that the mission from Adventureland? No, because that's Autopia. That's Autopia there. So yeah, that's got to be Cars. We've got Black Spire Outpost. We've got the Jungle Cruise, the Mark Twain. And on one side here we have the Disneyland train. Other side we have the Disneyland monorail, Space Mountain, the Teacup, Small World, Matterhorn. So I don't know if that's supposed to, because there's a pirate flag there. I don't know if that pirate's supposed to, I'm assuming that's Pirates of the Caribbean. So given that the clouds on that, I'm guessing that is probably supposed to be Peter Pan. We have Tinkerbell up there as well. And they all have this little silvery stamp in the bottom corner so that you know that you have an authentic print suitable for framing, but realistically probably going to go back in a box with other artwork that we've never put up on the walls. So out of these, I'm going to say I like this one the best. I mean, I do like, and you know, it's not really fair because it's because of Haunted Mansion, and I do like the Haunted Mansion's on here, but I'm going to go with Hatbox because just I don't think Hatbox gets enough love. So I'm going to go with I like this one the best because it has Hatbox on it. All right, just a little bit about Merch Pass while we're here. If you stayed through this long, maybe you'll stay through this part as well. And if you don't, well, thanks for watching up to this point. So they released they did the Merch Pass for the Disney Castle stuff, I guess a couple weeks ago now, maybe early last week. And it does seem like I saw a lot of people, I don't do the castle thing, but I saw a lot of people upset that they got passed over. They didn't get the email saying they got anything. And then on, I think Wednesday or Thursday of this week, I think Wednesday, all the castle stuff just went up on the Shop Disney website. And including things like the ornament, which only had like 1,000 made according to the Merch Pass numbers anyways, to begin with. And I'm wondering what happened there. So did these just that many people not buy it? Because I think it was all there when I looked. It was around like 7:30 in the morning when I looked. And they had the big castle and the ornament and the pin and the journal. And I actually think they sold the big castle and the journal the next day. I'm sure they're gone now. And I think I'm wondering just what happened there. Did other people just didn't buy who won the Merch Pass raffle? Let's give you something to look at here while I'm talking. Did people just not buy their things, or did Disney actually like spot the bot runners and like cancel their orders, or what happened there? I don't know. I mean, I would like to think that Disney just, you know, realized who some of the bot runners were and just canceled their orders. But I really do just believe Merch Pass is designed to keep the website from being overwhelmed, not to actually help customers get product into their hands. I really think the only thing that helps customers on this is the fact that you're not going to spend 5 hours sitting there hammering, you know, check out, and then have it not work. And at the same time, have it put holds on your account for every time you hit checkout, and put, you know, I think for me, the record is over $2,000 worth of holds on my card. So, I mean, that's good. And so I guess I've heard or seen things indicate that Merch Pass for the Peter Pan Minnie Mouse may be this week. And, yeah, just got to figure out some ways to work the system. Obviously, both my wife and I will be entering. We don't want 2 sets of the items, but, you know, we want to increase the chances of getting one. And we know there are the bot runners out there who have, you know, 100, 200 accounts that are all going to be entered in a Merch Pass that we're fighting against. So, I mean, if we both get picked, which it sounds like that doesn't seem to be happening to a lot of people, we're not going to buy both. We're not going to do that. We're going to leave the other one available for someone. But I think if people are not claiming their Merch Passes, perhaps before you just release them to the general public, maybe do a second round of emails? Give people you skipped over the first time a chance to buy the items? I don't know. It's just me. I will say that it seemed like the website didn't crash. I saw people saying when the castle stuff got released on the website without like any notice at all. There was no post on their Facebook page. I don't think there was an email about it. It just popped up on there one morning. I think the website stayed stable. I didn't hear people having issues with checking out then. So, I mean, I guess from that point of view, it seems to have worked. But I don't know. I mean, it just seemed like a lot of people who were saying they hadn't gotten the emails did get their stuff that way. So just need to really keep an eye on the Shop Disney website in the morning to see if your item comes out. That's all I have to say about that. I'm not going to complain about that too much this week. I may complain about it next week if this was Merch Pass and I don't get anything. But I do think I'm going to do another one of these videos next Saturday. I do have some stuff expected. I have some stuff that I was hoping would be here by now. I have some other masks I ordered from TeePublic, if you're familiar with that site. So they're not official Disney masks, but they're masks that Disney's not making. So, I mean, if you're not going to give me what I actually want, Disney, I'm going to go somewhere else for it. Unless that somewhere else is a reseller who's charging 3 times the price. But yeah, I ordered them back on July the 1st. It said 10 to 20 days. So there might be a delay, but you know, you should get it within 10 to 20 days. And on day 20, on day 10, I got an email saying it's been shipped. And you click tracking, it says ready for UPS. So, you know, it does that. I've seen that for the UPS and FedEx both. They have the little thing up that says they've received the notice that they're going to be shipping this item, but they don't have the item yet. And for the next week and a half, up until the 21st, actually up until last night, I haven't checked today yet, it still says ready for UPS. And so I contacted TeePublic at 20 days, because, you know, they said 10 to 20 days. I don't want to be a jerk. I said, you know, I'm just curious as to what's going on with my masks. From where I'm sitting, it looks kind of like you have just not given them to UPS. Which I'm trying to find the least jerky way to say that, and I don't know that I succeeded. And I got an email back, like, strangely at midnight. They sent the email to me at midnight on, like, Friday morning, saying that, yeah, we're sorry for the delay. If you don't receive it by the 29th, please contact us again. Which I don't think waiting another week and a half is great, but I will do it. I know things are the way they are right now. I know there are delays in things. I wish they had not told me originally that you should still get it within 10 to 20 days, and then have me sit there for, you know, a week and a half showing it just hasn't been given to UPS, or at least that's the way it looks. I'm sure that's not what it is, because that'd be ridiculous, but that's the way it looks. But yeah, when they get here, I will show them to you, because some of them are Disney. I think most of them actually are Disney. And we also have another thing coming in where we're going to compare a couple of, again, not made by Disney items. But hopefully that stuff will all be in by next week. If not, I don't know. Maybe I won't do this at all then. If there's no video next Saturday, those things didn't come. Alright, I think I've rambled enough. This is probably like at a half an hour now at least. So let's stop here, because I still have, you know, you still have the rest of your day. I have to edit this. And I'm going to have a video tomorrow anyways, so yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you found any of these items interesting. As far as rating any of them, well, I mean, obviously I'm biased because they're items I picked, but I like especially Skipper Dan here and Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey are probably my favorite two. Let's not knock the camera over. And then, of course, gotta go with the Haunted Mansion, because that is, you know, the best Disney ride ever. But everything's nice, except for I'm just not happy. Not happy about that little defect there on Minnie's face. At least it's on the side that faces away. But it's, yeah, it's not great. Looks like she has a giant booger stuck to her face, or perhaps she got burnt in a horrible accident. But it'll still look fine on a shelf when you put it on a shelf like this, and you're seeing it from across the room. You're not ever going to see that. I'm just kind of rambling here now, so let's cut this off. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this at all, please give it a like, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and you ring the little bell, and you follow me on Instagram at Void of Intelligence and all that jazz. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.